Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Andrew. Today we're going to be getting into a full-on collective reading for all the signs. Surrounding the full moon in Gemini energy, it is 9:41 a.m. on this beautiful Saturday, 11/25/2023. So let's get into it together. If you don't know me, now you do. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe if you appreciate the content. Be a part of allowing this content to reach other people. We got Raphael in the back. He may make an appearance. And with that said, also know that, where I'm positioned and where I live, there's a lot of outside noise. And I've come to learn to use that in the reading for divination, and different things mean different sounds. Sometimes there's motorcycles driving by. Sometimes there's loud music. Sometimes there are dogs. We just allow that to be a part of the divination process instead of getting frustrated. And without further ado, I'm going to say my prayer. We're going to get into our notes. I'm going to get into some overall arcing energies, and then we're going to go sign by sign through the zodiac. Okay, and with that, let us begin. Guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, beings of loving light, those that walk with us in God's loving embrace, we call upon you at this time. I call upon you at this time. Allow me to show up as messenger today for the collective. Guide me so that I may work efficiently and effectively. Thank you. Archangel Michael, please protect against any distorting energies and or intentions. Escort them to a place of evolution or dissolution now or whenever they may interfere. Thank you. Guard us, Archangel Michael. Thank you. And anybody watching at whatever time, right? Assume that they are also receiving this divine protection. Thank you. Archangel Gabriel and Raphael, allow me to remain lighthearted and jovial. Allow my heart to be expanded to 6 feet in all directions so that my sphere may be protected and I may be saturated in the frequencies of love and oneness. Thank you. Allowing my heart to be the primary and leading intelligence. Archangel Gabriel, allow the communications to be to come out effectively and to be communicated effectively. Thank you. Allow me to have the courage and the bravery and inspire me to have the confidence to be able to deliver whatever messages are needed to be delivered. Thank you. Archangel Metatron and Santa Clara sit within my mind, allowing my mind and my crown to be connected to the high heavens, my ego subdued, and my mind working to break down complex or a little bit of detailed messages and downloads, right? But nothing more, allowing my mind to follow the intelligence of the heart. Thank you. We open the portal for any beings of love and oneness, any other guides that are with other people, that are wanting to collaborate, co-create within this message. Any beings that are excited about the potentiality for revelation in this reading, we invite you in for the duration of this reading, but no longer. And with that, we say, Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Let us see what we have here. I want to go through these notes, okay? Y'all know I like to shuffle me up a fucking storm. Excuse my language. So, in case you don't know, because there may be some new people here, I just want to kind of do a little bit of a brief introduction of why we're doing this reading. So, the full moon offers a time and a space to intensify specific things with the charge of the unconscious. So, a lot of things that are living very subtly beneath the surface come forward depending on the particular moon and the particular signs. Meaning each sign and each moon, full moon, in combination with the season we are in will bring something forward, often in uncomfortable ways, to shape, guide, weather, or direct us. So these things are often judged, and this is the issue, and this is why oftentimes you feel like you're chasing your tail, because there's an inclination to want to judge the things that are unfolding and why we're responding to these things. So that's why these readings take place. This reading serves us to understand and go further with the energies here. This is a discovery session, and a session intended to unpack this energy for the betterment of all, including you watching, okay? This Sunday, I will be hosting a Gemini full moon transmutation session that will be hosted live on Facebook. So this session is kind of going to bring forward the aspects and the things that are going to be going on and what I'm going to clear in the session. Spirit is inspiring me and moving me towards transmutation and healing, and moving my healing abilities and what it is that I do beyond fortune telling or beyond being a channel, right? There's more to it. And so if you're interested in taking all of the intensity that we find here and everything that's being brought forward and doing an energetic session that is aligned to work with these energies and have them integrated and to sort of do a little bit of a cleaning, right, before this new moon energy that's coming in a few weeks, then join us. It's going to be on Facebook. That link is going to be in the description as well. Okay, thank you. All right, so that completes us. We have Gemini, the full moon, representing the Lover's card in the tarot, if you don't already know. Okay, we have rising the tides, right? So when it comes to relationships, when it comes to irritability, when it comes to like mismatching, or where there's a lack of compatibility, it's going to be highly sensitive right now. So you're going to find yourself very irritated by individuals. You're going to find yourself very clear on the individuals who you don't match with at all, who you are not, like, you just feel like they're existing in a completely different reality than the one that you're living in, and you don't feel comfortable in. Oftentimes you might even feel a little bit dizzy, is what I'm hearing, or off put, right? So it's like, why do I feel like I'm crawling in my skin, right? Gemini ritual. I don't know what I meant by that, but we'll get back to that. We have the mental constructs and delusion. So Gemini, being an air sign, is also about the mind, thought, and communication. So there's a lot of mental constructs that we've been living in. So the false foundations that we've built when it comes to relationships, right? So it's like, for example, say you're married. Say that you have this agreement that things are going to be this way, and as long as they're this way, the partner's going to be fine, right? What happens when that goalpost changes and you've been sort of placating in this energy of like not going anywhere, being very stagnant? Because the Gemini full moon does not like stagnancy. It's not that it doesn't like it as much as it's pointing a major spotlight on it and saying, hey, look at that. So if you have an arrangement with someone in your life, it could be a parent, a partner, and that person is beginning to feel like they're unsatisfied by it, well, chances are they are, right? And so, and you as well, right? You might not necessarily be as fulfilled with the normal day-to-day things that you were before, right? And so that energy is coming at the apex of this full moon in Gemini, and as things begin to gear up, going into Monday and the post-shadow effects that last probably up until after the weekend, right? So this whole week is a major intensity in that regard. Complex situations, okay? The highest timeline opportunity is to see things as they are. I think that's going to be the title of this video, because there's a real emphasis on delusion, right? And so I know that that's a very uncomfortable topic, right? Because it also, I don't know why I'm picking this up, but there's also like this concern over spiritual delusion, where people, the collective, are feeling this kind of offness when it comes to the beliefs that you carry around spirit, the beliefs that you carry around bigger concepts when it comes to life in the world and all things, you know, in that regard. And it feels like seeing things as they are is triggering, because you're not sure what it is when it is as it is, if that makes sense. So it's like, yeah, I'm willing to see things as they are, but if I find out that everything I believed is a lie and there's nothing to anything that I believe, then I'm gonna be triggered and I need to go to the insane asylum, right? And so Spirit is saying, no, it's not about finding out that everything's been a lie. It's been about finding the unique and intricate aspects of yourself that are responding to the different relationships and worlds in the world around you, and how you've been ignoring certain things about the way that you live in this world, and how those things need to be acknowledged. And it's almost about you bringing that masculine, right? Because the sword energy and the mental energy is very it leans a lot towards the masculine energy, right? So that masculine energy is about fact. It's about what is known. It's about like what the proof is in the fucking pudding, right? So if you're with someone and you're feeling like the sense of discomfort, or you're feeling like, I don't fuck with this person anymore, or whatever, or this is how I need things to be in order for me to be comfortable with this, and you try to justify it with some kind of theme or motif, or even a reading, right? Rather than just like following your gut. The proof is in the pudding. It is what it is, right? You can understand it deeper, and it benefits us. It behooves us to be able to understand ourselves, because we don't want to operate off of unconscious impulses. However, the highest timeline opportunity is to see things as they are. Thank you, Spirit. And there's something about traction here, and Spirit leading us into traction going into the Sagittarius season that allows us real movement. I'm seeing the Chariot, right? Being able to finally move forward. And the Chariot is often considered to be like the light and the dark, being able to move us forward. But what if it is also all dualistic things, the inner child and the inner parent, the feminine and the masculine, right? So this is one aspect of the way that we live with ourselves, that these are all the aspects of the ways that we live with ourselves that are actually preventing us from being efficient and powerful in our movement forward, and actually keeping us circling in particular things that we're actually ready to let go of. So this full moon is less of like setting an intention. Full moons are not for that. Full moons are for reflecting and reflection, shadow work, inner work, all the things that help us to align. And so that is why this particular full moon in Gemini is being very honest about the delusions that we live with, in all truth, okay? Communication meets relationships and emotions. So it's like, I'm getting like you can't, like, it's harder to lie. Like the truth is going to be blurted out. So like if you're used to being, sparing of emotions or feelings, know that there are things that are going to come through that are going to sort of like put that in jeopardy, right? I don't know why this feels like it's lagging, but forgive me if it is, and just receive the message. So like say, you've been thinking about breaking up, right, with your partner, or you've been wondering whatever, right? Rather than you being able to live with that on your own as you have, all of a sudden, that shit just flies out of your mouth and hits the wall, and everybody can hear it. And now not only did the person that you didn't want to hear it can hear it, but now everybody else can too, right? And so that feels a little bit stressful. Thank you, Spirit. The heart is given the mic and the mind can't stop it, right? So it's like also like a diarrhea of the mouth. Forgive me for using very gross terms, but that's what it feels like. It feels like there's a purge, or there's just this insatiable kind of tick, or I'm hearing like a forgive me, but like a Tourette's response. So like it's almost like a something hits the air, or somebody says something, or somebody reveals something, and then all of a sudden it's like poof, right? Let me see if I can do something about this lag, y'all. 1 second. Okay, that should be better. Thank you, Spirit. Blurting things out that you can't take back. Feeling confused and overwhelmed. Situations that uncomfortably push us into uncomfortable communication. Okay? So whatever it is that you've been living with, that you've been hoping can, honestly, there's just this fear that I sense of like, it's a me problem. So why would I bring them into it? Or, usually it's like you assume that usually you're the problem because you've had all this drama, and because, I'm speaking to a lot of individuals that are very forward and honest about the fact that they have a lot of issues, right? And we all do. We live in a sick society, and we're finding our way home from that sickness and that dis-ease, right? And so with that, we acknowledge that, but the people in our lives kind of like to feel and put off, or sometimes the people that we bring into our lives like to feel and put off like this kind of like, I got to figure it out. I know what's up. Like, I'm very grounded and know what's up. And it's like, okay, maybe I'm just a little bit more vocal about it than you are. And that's kind of what it feels like, because it's like, you just assume that whatever problem is going to be, it's going to be you, right? But then when you start bringing things up and then they start reacting in a certain way, you're like, wait, am I the problem? Am I the only problem, or are we both the problem, right? And what needs to be rectified here? And some things can't be taken back. This is like coming out of nowhere and being like, I fucking hate your mom. And then it's like, whoa, you know, like I can't be with somebody who doesn't like my mom. Right, Rafi? Look at him looking up at the spirits. Right, Rafi? Say hi, buddy. No, I just teased him because he thinks I want to play now. All right. And a lot of this has to do with family, y'all. Family. The ten of cups in the reverse, right, is partnered with the 3 of swords, but I feel like the 10 of pentacles is the one I want to look at. This feels like ancestral karma, ancestral things that you don't want to look at, right? Patterns, right? Every time you think you made it out, every time you think you're scot-free, every time you think you're super clean like a newborn baby, right? There's always another aspect, another layer of something that is being highlighted and needs to be addressed. And they're telling me each pentacle represents a moon. I'm hearing there's a series of 10 moons that are going to be like a marathon. Oh my gosh. Spirit, thank you for the confirmation, but that's wild. They're saying there's going to be a series of 10 moons. This kicks off the beginning, I suppose. But there's a series of 10 moons that feels like an uphill climb. Full moons. And so we're going to go through this together. I'm going to be present. I know that I haven't always been the greatest about consistency, but that's going to change because I can feel how much the collective needs clarity in this, whether it's through me or through other people, but I want to be a part of that. And I feel like this intense energy of like responsibility here, right? And you may be feeling the same thing too, but it's like how you show up will determine how you and the people around you navigate this very confusing, intense time. Okay? I need to speak to my astrologer friends and see if anybody knows anything about this 10 moon succession. Spirit, thank you. Yeah, because with the three of swords, it's almost like your mindset cannot remain the way it has been and the way it is. Your mindset cannot be anymore this way. It's just not going to fit. It's not going to work. It's not going to fly. You know, cutting into those wings, it's like, where is it that our thought programs and how we think and how we... It's almost like this is the mindset. The 3 of Swords represents the mindset. And the mindset is directly clashing with this challenge, right? Spirit is saying we're all going through this challenge. So where is it that you're looking for opportunities to say, well, I'm a piece of shit. I don't deserve shit, right? Spirit is saying that is not the way to go. And that's a natural response, especially when this devil energy, this Luciferian impulse and this harmonic impulse, or these impulses of a lower nature, are not wanting us to change. They're wanting us to remain the same. They're wanting us to kind of remain in that mindset that prevents us from seeing our full power and potential. And the divine is saying, can you interface with these energies and not run away or not turn away? Can you be fully honest with what's coming through no matter how much it challenges you? So many of you are wanting and desiring, even from me in private sessions, clarity, wanting the truth. But as long as it doesn't conflict with the things that you're not ready to change. And the divine is saying, this is not a picky choosy thing. We are not conditional in our love for you. You know what I mean? We would never be. You know, we love you unconditionally, regardless of what crazy shit you choose to do in this free will universe. But why in the world would you be conditional with yourself? And this is the dis-ease and the programs that Spirit has to ease us off from. And you know, I've shared this before, but it's this energy of being captured like an innocent little field mouse by a snake, right? And it's like the snake is the mental, the snake is the predator, right? We're caught by the predator and we're being shaken free, right? The more you resist physically, the more tired you get, like quicksand, right? Or like a Chinese finger trap, right? There's a natural way to move away from this. And the Gemini energy is really highlighting the mindset of it all. The socialized mindset, right? The mindset that we have when we are interfacing with people and relationships. And so this moon is very focused. This full moon is very intensified and focused on the relational mindsets that we have. Thank you, Spirit. And how that has hindered us from being able to see our power integrate or be able to even find a more balanced way of moving forward. And some of you guys are just straight up neglectful. And I know this is going to be triggering, but you're neglectful of yourselves and not wanting to see that you'd be better off without this relationship. But so many are, they don't feel strong enough, and there's no judgment. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to read the energy, right? I say this in all my readings. Any other energy? We're going to get a third card for the collective, and then we're going to pull a Dreamweaver Oracle, and then we're going to get into the signs, okay? The Fool in the reverse. This is like, you think you're about to start something. You think you're about to start a chapter. You think you're about to get something going. You think, right? Then there's thought energy. But the truth is, you ain't got nothing, right? You think you're starting something. You think you're about to launch something, but you don't even know what you're launching. You don't even have all your ducks in a row. You just want to get it going, right? This is the energy of like really not having your ducks in a row when you start something and then having to be knocked back. And Spirit is saying, if you could turn towards these energies and face them fully, then you won't worry about, or you don't have to worry about wasted effort. So many, thank you, Spirit. So many have been in this frequency, in this energy of like being so frustrated and tired with the effort that you've put in and feeling like you haven't gotten anywhere, right? And Spirit is saying, if you had been a little bit more, and this is not a coulda, shoulda, woulda, this is just the truth. If you would have been more in alignment with yourself, full on alignment with yourself and your co-creator, because we're co-creating with Spirit, with our higher self, with whatever walks with us in a benevolent force, in a benevolent way. If you were in alignment with that, then you wouldn't have wasted your efforts, or you wouldn't have felt like you would have, that you, ran like laps and never got anywhere, right? This is not about how many times you tried and it didn't work out. This is about how many times you tried and you didn't consider or really receive divine counsel or co-creation. This is you trying to do shit all on your own. And Gemini energy is going to show you where you can't do shit all on your own, where you need support, where you need community, where you need the divine, and you need to be working in tandem with the benevolent forces that walk with you. Okay, let's pull a Dreamweaver card. I guarantee you it's going to say something you can't do shit all by yourself, but we'll see. What do we have for the collective here before we get into these sign readings? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. When the ones you need fly close. I highly recommend this Oracle deck, guys. Dreamweaver's Oracle. I believe it's fairly new. There are moments in life when you recognize the soul family you've chosen to experience life with. Often, they feel so familiar. It's like you've traveled with them before. Some stay for a lifetime. You might find a true partner to commit to, or friendship that you grow old with, through thick and thin. Some come into your life with a wild passion, causing you to fall madly in love and think you have found the one true partner. When this type of relationship doesn't last, you end up heartbroken and confused. These situations are potent invitations to discover your patterns so you can heal and become a more expanded, healthier version of yourself. Don't withdraw and simply blame the other for your pain. No matter the outcome or the period of time, no matter the outcome or the period of time it lasts, your connections are all meaningful. It's how we all learn and grow. It's how we find courage to be intimate, to change, and to discover who we really are. Right now, be grateful for the beautiful connections you have made in this journey called life. The universe knows the dream weavers pulled the threads of fate to draw you together to explore what it means to be human, to have a heart, and to know love in all of its forms. When the ones you need fly close, it's a reminder that love is here for you. Be grateful for the people in your life who make you feel safe and seen, and whom you can truly laugh with right now. They are all emissaries of the divine. Beautiful. So, in this Gemini full moon energy, an energy that we're all available to, is this sort of sobering vision and clarity around the relationships in our lives, the ones who can truly make us laugh and make us feel safe, and those that we feel like we have to prove something to. And so many of us don't want to acknowledge and admit, right? You know, the number one thing that'll have a client not coming back is when they ask questions about their relationship, or when things about their relationship come through and they don't want to hear it, right? And they're just like, well, fuck Andy. I don't want to go to Andy no more, because Andy's just going to tell me things that I'm not ready to hear. And I don't want to, I don't want nobody to tell me that this relationship has problems and this and this and that. I want to live in the fantasy. Okay, I want to live in the fantasy. Well, live in the fantasy, mama. Live in this fantasy, papa. Like, that's what you do. I can't. I may be able to for a short period of time, but I can't. And it's taken me a really long time. And if you're anything like me in your sensitivity, you've often walked through life in your own survival mind. Thank you, Spirit. Bless me. In your own survival mind, walking around, bending and molding and contorting yourself to be what others need, or to try and be what others need, right? And because of that, we forget what it means to show up authentically and to challenge things authentically. And we still have these habits and layers upon layers of habitual patterns that show up and cause us to almost neglect the authentic version of ourselves for the version of ourselves that feels safer in any given situation. And I think with these relationships and these moons coming in their full force, right? The moon being a full reflection of the sun's light reflected on the full surface of the moon, right? That energy that is being sort of highlighted and shoved into our faces every time a full moon comes is an energy that allows us to get one step closer towards operating authentically as a co-creator with the divine. So if you fucks with that, if that's what you're after, then you're in the right place, because that's what I dedicate myself to. At least that's what I always come back to. Okay. All right, let's get into some individual readings. I don't do the whole thing in order. Okay. I don't feel like that's necessary. I just go by element. So I want to start with air, because I am a Libra sun, and that's only natural for me. In these sign readings, I'll usually always do air, earth, water, and then fire. Air, earth, water, and fire. Okay. And so we're going to start with Gemini, for those Geminis out there. And so I implore you to use this however it works for you. Use your intuition, and whatever other parts of your intuition you bring into the fold. You're the other half of this reading, y'all. And any collective reading that you step your ass into, know that you are the other half of that reading. Okay, so don't overwhelm yourself watching a billion readings, right, from all different types of people and all different messages, and you don't even know what you resonate with anymore. That's because you're not using your intuition. But I digress. Okay, Gemini, regardless where Gemini is in your chart, if you're a cross watcher, we are all the signs. You're sure to gain something from every single reading here. Okay, let us begin. I want to go ahead and use my other deck. Gemini. What do we have for Gemini? Let me drink some water. Let me hit my vape. Gemini. Holy Spirit, what do we have for Gemini? Thank you. Please tune into Gemini's energy. Allow Gemini's guides, angels, and ancestors to dictate the messages, as they are the ones walking with them and they deserve to be heard. Let me write this down. Sorry. 30 minutes. It's for the timestamp later. What do we have for Gemini, Holy Spirit? Thank you. Let's do a 3-card pull. Thank you for each sign. What do we have for Gemini? What do we have for Gemini, Holy Spirit? We got the sun, and it's demanding my attention. Okay, the sun in the reverse. This is like all of a sudden things get dark, Gemini. This is all of a sudden like all the clarity you thought you had went out the window, and you're like, what the fuck? It's a real sobering thing when our ego gets involved and we think that we have this like higher view of everything going on, right? And like, I just know the universe brought this person into my life because they're like my partner, and like we are, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like rock on, like this is my boo, this is the divine counterpart, let's go, twin flames. And that's all lovely, fine, and dandy. Okay, I love that energy. That energy is very fulfilling, but where is it that we can't swallow the fact that we were wrong, right? And that we were over here putting words in the universe's mouth, and the universe is like, not exactly. We said that person was going to help you see something, and that you were going to learn something from this, and you can go forward if you like, but it may not be what you think. And we were just like, the universe said that this person is my everything. And then all of a sudden, you just don't. When you take that kind of hit to the ego, what happens is like you find yourself questioning everything, and as you should. And wherever it is that you want to beat yourself up for thinking one thing or assuming something, like, get over it, because it got you where you needed to be, right? It got you into a situation that's going to get you that much closer, right? But wherever it is that you're like, I don't know what to think anymore, and I'm tired of messages because every time I think I know, I don't. And the universe is like, some people have even come to me, and readings have come through, and it's been like, I feel like this person is significant, right? Then a couple months later, they're done, and they were like, I thought you said this person. I said they are, and they were they not? Let's go. Okay, where is it that we make assumptions, right? What do we have for Gemini, Holy Spirit? Thank you. What do we have for Gemini, Holy Spirit? Thank you. We have the two of Pentacles. Okay, so Gemini is over here debating, right? You're going back and forth, like, do I want to go along with the thing that I said and told everybody was going to be the thing, or do I want to honor, what's going on? And it feels like with this energy here, it feels like it's sort of like this energy of feeling like you're backed up against the wall and you have to make a decision. So I feel like there's an energy of an ultimatum here for Gemini. So some of you Geminis might be dealing with someone who's basically telling you, like, listen, okay, and some of you guys are dealing with a lot of ancestral protection while you make a decision. So you should definitely go ahead and make a decision, because you don't want to leave your ancestors hanging over here trying to protect you from some kind of fallout, so that you can go ahead and make this decision, and you're being indecisive. And some of you guys are procrastinating on a decision you need to make. Some of you guys are worried about letting somebody down slowly, and some of you guys are embarrassed because my eyes are being brought to like the red rosy cheeks of this lady/gentleman, they, them. Whew, we got 3 birds as well, so you might be seeing 333 a lot. Okay, so there's another synchronicity that I see here. These wands as well, it feels like there's definitely communication coming through, especially from your paternal ancestors here, Gemini, around things in your life that you don't see that are dangerous, that are very much so dangerous. So this is like someone in your life who is who you don't realize can be a danger to you or your career or something very important that you're building. Okay, the third card here we have is the 8 of Cups in the reverse, and this is just straight up talking about you having the inability to walk away from things that you've become accustomed to, addicted to. It's nice to have that man that's going to take you out and pay for dinner. It's nice to have you got a vacation on the books that somebody paid for, and you want to go on the vacation before you break up things. Listen, you better give that a second thought, a third thought, and a fourth thought, because is it worth it? Right? Especially when your ancestors are over here trying to protect you and hold it down. They're trying to protect you from some kind of karmic backlash, is what I'm getting from not being honest or not honestly communicating how you feel with this person. It just feels like you're over here on the fence for way too long, and the divine is saying, go ahead and make a decision, because you already know what's up. All right, Gemini? Let's do a fourth one, since you guys are the energy, the central energy of the full moon. Thank you, Spirit. I feel like I finally relaxed into this reading, because sometimes I'd be anxious. The Two of Cups in the upright position. Man, listen, it can be hella confusing when you don't realize, like, chemistry is a funny thing. And I'll tell you this, I would think that I was really into somebody, right? And until I'm around someone new, whether it's conscious or not, and I'm like, oh my God, is this what chemistry is supposed to feel like? And I don't feel this with that other person. And like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean about me? Like, how could I have gotten that confused? Like, I thought that that was real, and now I'm here and I'm like, whoa, this really feels like fire. So what the fuck was that? And so it does feel like this deciding, or this going back and forth, is you going back and forth and being like, is this the thing? Is this the thing that's gonna, get my rocks off and give me, fulfill me and be something I can invest in for the rest of my life, or not? Whether it's a career, relationship, whatever. This feels like a decision that needs to be made. And the Gemini full moon is coming through for Gemini to be like, yo, don't lie to yourself. Be honest, because the longer you take here, the more apt you are to be hit with this energy that you're being protected from, this karmic energy. You don't want to find yourself holding somebody else back karmically, or crossing their path in a certain way. Right? Get out the way. Let them go about their day. Let them go move about the cabin and do whatever the fuck they gotta do. Don't hold them back because you're not sure when you are sure. All right, Gemini? Moving on. At 37 minutes, we have Libra. Hello, Libra. Welcome to your collective reading, or for your timeless reading that's focused on the full moon in Gemini. Okay. What do we have for Libra, Spirit? What do we have for Libra in reference to the intensity of this full moon? Let us get 3 to 4 cards for Libra. Thank you. Thank you. What do we have for Libra? Libra. Okay, Libra, working hard. This is more about your work. This is more about where Libra allows relationships to get in the way of their work. They feel like they need to balance out everybody else's shit. And now they're finding, no, like, I'm tired. I cannot do that anymore. I need to focus on my work. I don't give a fuck if people are mad at me. I don't give a fuck if all of my personal relationships go up in flames. I'm tired of everybody holding me to a contract where I'm going to be the mediator and I'm hearing the like personnel to come and help, like the intermediary, or like the customer service. Like, you are not, like, everybody wants to call upon you, and it fed Libra's ego for a while to be called upon, right? I'm hearing somebody being like, hey Libra, can you come and show me how to send this email on my new phone? Or hey Libra, my internet's not working, can you? It's like, who, what? And it's like, you are so used to being a support and helping people in that way, and it may not be those types of examples, but this feels like at work, somebody here at work or in their career feels like somebody or some people keep distracting you or keep pulling you from your work, and you just feel like it's that much harder for you to get the things that you need to get done. Thank you, Spirit. What do we have for Libra? All right, this card wants to clearly come out, but it's in the upright. I can feel it, okay? Ooh, they're saying no, it's sideways. All right, so this is the first sideways card of the pull. All right, look at that man. That man is some juicy looking man with a good ass mustache, some good hair. Okay, he's looking good. He's in the prime of his life. He's his strongest. Okay, look at those biceps. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly how to make these coins. He knows how to pack them up, and he knows how to work with these moons. Okay, and Libra, you have a very beautiful way of analyzing and breaking down energy. So many of you guys here that are Libras that are tuning in, you guys are actually very intuitive and being guided towards reading, or being guided towards sharing your insights or work with the collective. Some of you guys are working on some things, and this Gemini energy is saying, like, what are you loyal to, and can you be loyal to the thing that you know is going to serve more people, even the people that are wanting you immediately, right? So it's like, listen, you can't prevent me from making my beautiful, precious jewelry, the jewelry that helps me to help all of y'all, right? You cannot distract me from making this, because part of the reason I'm making it is to help you, right? So it's that kind of energy of like, you know, I cannot be bogged down with small things anymore. And a lot of that is turning people away. When you turn a cold shoulder towards people, it's not always an unconscious or karmic thing. Sometimes it's a very aligned thing that is really trusting someone in their own divine process to figure their shit out, to feel the heat under their ass that's going to get them to move, right? And so when you start developing the habit of turning your back and not making people your responsibility, that's very karmic, and that's very lower natured, right? It's different when there's a relationship, right? We don't just turn away or ignore, you know, the people that we love when they're really going through pain or when they're going through stuff, but we know how to discern when that is and when that isn't, right? Just because a child is throwing a tantrum does not mean they need to be coddled, right? And so it's this energy of like Libra being like, no, I'm about my fucking business, okay? I understand that you need me to be diplomatic and you're making me feel like I'm not being balanced in this energy, because Libra gets taken hostage by this energy of like, look at all the things I did for you, Libra. Look at all the things, and you're like, Libra's like, well, let me balance this shit out because I don't want this to be imbalanced. And Spirit is like, no, it's already balanced, okay? Don't like, you know, Libra thinking that they are the be all end all and know all about the balances and know about the checks and balances of all things. You guys we don't have, me being a Libra sun, we don't have all of the answers and the clues in reference to what the balance is and what the weights are. You don't know what that person's doing in their personal life. So when Spirit is moving you towards working, then work. And when people try to get in the way of that, assert your boundaries and be real about it and stop falling for the trap. And that's what this full moon is feeling like it's bringing up for Libra. What else do we have for Libra and any of the different groups or parties or individuals here that are needing a message? Thank you, Spirit. What do we have for this full moon in Gemini? Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, about your business. I mean, listen, you can't be punished or blamed or be slowed down because somebody doesn't have the constitution to be able to be comfortable. It's not even about whether they have the constitution to handle the energy, but the strength in the reverse is like, you're not here to tame. Like you can be the Queen of Pentacles looking over and be like, yeah, that's interesting. I can tell that this person struggles to hold strength, but rather than me being, so Libra, you're learning how to help on a more mass scale rather than helping on an individual basis where your energy is depleted and you're not having as much output. You're taking a look at where you're seeing certain things that you feel like you have the ability to help, right? Especially being the Queen of Pentacles. This is some real tangible, like long-term sustainable solutions. And rather than you getting bogged down by that one person, by your mom, by your dad, by your sibling, by your boyfriend, by your girlfriend, by your grandma, by your daughter, by your son, your grandson or granddaughter, right? This is you being like, well, let me go ahead and do something that's going to help everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and put out my messages. I'm going to go ahead and make my stuff, and that's going to help everybody. And if they want my help, then they're going to get it this way, because this is the way that is most efficient to be able to help as many people as possible and to be able to benefit me, my business, and my career moving forward. I cannot be I guess redirected anymore towards very individual basis situations. I'm going to sit here and make sure that whatever it is that I'm cultivating and whatever product that I'm making is going to be an answer to this, right? But I'm not going to be pulled off my throne, out of my position to be brought their way, because they're going to have to deal with this themselves. I can't help them from this. So it's a real maturity that I feel Gemini full moon is offering for Libra. And this is a flow that feeds on itself. So it's going to like catapult you. It kind of feels or springboard you, Libra, because then you start to really feel like, look at this branch. All of these sorts of berries and stuff are beginning to grow. So it feels like this is like the beginning of really reaping the inheritance of your dharma, right? And all the energy that you put in here. It's real exciting. Okay, I claim this. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else for Libra? Yeah, the Knight of Cups in the reverse. I just feel like a lot of people are coming forward. Just be wary, because a lot of people are coming forward in a very emotionally manipulative kind of frequency and energy towards you. It just feels like people who don't necessarily know how to communicate their feelings, or people who don't, who may be even a little bit emotionally manipulative because they're coming out of left field and they feel like they need something for you. Like, consider whether or not they're coming to feed. Okay, that's That's where I'll leave that. Okay. Moving on, we have Aquarius at 45 minutes. Hello, Aquarius. Let me drink some water. Holy Spirit, please tune into Aquarius's energy. Allow Aquarius's guides, angels, and ancestors to dictate the messages, as they're the ones walking with them, and they deserve to be heard. Yes, they do. What do we have for Aquarius? Holy Spirit, they want me to switch the decks up. All right, we're gonna give them a break. Okay, lay my beautiful little. They said they want the big rock. The big rock. What do we have for Aquarius? Holy Spirit, thank you. All right, the Three of Pentacles showing itself. A lot of Pentacle energy here for this Aquarius, or excuse me, for this Gemini full moon. Like I said, it's okay to slow down. I know I feel like I'm in a rush because I have all these signs to get through, but, you know, drop a like and leave a comment. Okay, please do. Let this reach other people in the algorithm. And if you fucks with me, I fucks with you. Okay? All right, let's see. What do we have for Aquarius here, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, again, we have this Three of Swords energy in the reverse, though. So it feels like Aquarius... Shut up. Okay? I don't need you to go off right now, okay? Be a good boy. Thank you. Yeah, we're still on this Three of Swords. No major arcana yet. So it feels like, Gemini, you guys have figured it out. It feels like you're on the tail end of this energy of realizing where you were living with a mindset that was really limiting in reference to your abilities to move forward and your abilities to kind of be at peace with your choices and moving forward, right? With the Two of Wands here, it does feel like there's a sort of like a stabilization or a divine stabilization that's being invited in, but what needs to be seen, right? There's something more, Gemini, or excuse me, Aquarius, that is needed to be received from this energy here. The Ten of Pentacles, right? Again, the succession of 10 moons. But you guys hold a special place in this process. It's like making sure that where we start is a good place to start. It's like, you know, we can start to build, but we got to pick a good spot. I don't know why I'm getting this, but it's like going to the beach and finding the perfect spot that's going to give you the perfect day. You know, the perfect day at the beach all starts with the perfect spot, right? That you put your stuff down and that you kind of plant your base down, right? And it's almost like Aquarius is like, where do I start, right? I don't know where to start. And Spirit is saying you start at home. You start where the heart is. And I don't know what that means for you, Aquarius, but it feels like You're trying to figure out where you test your stuff. Like, I don't know why I'm getting an energy of like wanting to test your things, the things that you do, the work that you do. You're trying to figure out like, where do I start, or who do I start with? You know, there's something that you want to try, or there's something that you want to experiment on or experiment with, and Spirit is saying you start at home. You start with the people closest to you. And that's going to be the most challenging thing. Those are the people that you last wanted to deal with. You're like, oh, I'm never going to touch them with this, right? And Spirit is saying, well, you'd be surprised. You know, somebody here has a very rigid father, or a very rigid masculine energy, a stepfather or grandfather or something like that. And Spirit, and you've assumed that they would never be receptive to this kind of work because this is kind of woo-woo, or this is a little bit different, or out of the box, right? And so they're like, you know, the Spirit is like, don't underestimate your ability. And also, you know, something very wise that was shared with me is that sometimes people don't need to know that you're doing something on behalf of them. So you might be petitioning to Spirit and saying, hey, can I, you know, get permission from their higher self to do this healing work on them? You know, they don't always have to know, but there's a way that you can do this and get results easily. But with the three of coins in the reverse position, it just feels like you just don't really feel confident with this start. And honestly, it's very overwhelming because Aquarius, you're very much about like the full vision, right? What is it going to look like after, right? What is the full amalgamation of it? What is the full force of it? And unfortunately, it doesn't feel like you get to know that. Like, and because of that, you're like kind of, you know, thrown back by the imperfection of it all. And Spirit is saying like, you got to start somewhere. The Three of Pentacles is about planning. It's also about like putting out a game plan and collaborating and bringing in the right people, right? It's about delegation, right? And getting help. This is about outsourcing and getting other people to help you, and getting other people to get involved, right? This is about like bringing the community in and allowing them to advocate for you, and for them to advocate for the work that you've done with them. And it feels like you're, you know, somebody here, there's an Aquarius here that you just need to ask people that have received your work to write recommendations for you. You simply need to, or testimonials. You simply need to share your work, even the stuff that you're afraid to share because you're afraid to come out the closet, right? Aquarius, you figured out that something needs to get done. That's where this energy is different with you, where you're like, how do I, many of you Aquariuses are like afraid because you're afraid that if you come out of the closet and certain people find out, you know, they will treat you differently, or you'll lose certain privileges. And Spirit is saying like, you're actually in a worse place not being authentic. And how much has this really affected your mental health, you know, in reference to living a double life, right? I talk about this all the time, but being a gay man, you know, especially for the first couple of years of your life when you know that you're gay, I don't know who can relate to this, but you learn habits of living a double life. You learn how to hide things. You learn how to have one thing that you put forward versus the truth of yourself. And that process of shame, right? That real cycle of shame is what prevents you from having peace, right? So there's something about your truth that you're holding back because you're afraid of how people will react, and you're just avoiding the inevitable. I do feel like you will have some really tough responses from this, but it's better than the alternative. And the alternative is hiding yourself or preventing yourself from doing what you're divinely guided to do because you're afraid of how people around you are going to react. I mean, you know, I love you, Aquarius, but that's some weak shit. And so over here on this channel, we're going to empower you to be in your power and to be in your strength. All right. And that completes us for Aquarius. All right, let's go ahead and start with water. We're going to do Scorpio since we're in Scorpio season. And we're going to do 54 minutes for Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. Scorpio, forgive me for that. I needed to make sure that I just remembered about some message that I was going to get from someone. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you, Spirit. Please tune into Scorpio's energy. Allow Scorpio's guides, angels, and ancestors to dictate the messages, as they are the ones walking with them and they deserve to be heard. Thank you. What do we have for Scorpio today? Thank you, Spirit. And again, this card is coming up again, but it's coming up in the opposite. Scorpio, like, where is it that you're tired of putting your efforts and your energy towards the expansion and betterment of others? It's like, this is a karmic lesson of yours where it's like you see clearly, or you accept less, you settle for less than what you deserve or what you feel you're ready for or aligned to, and then you expect these energies, and then you kind of like a teacher or teach along. I hear, you're teaching along as you go. And like, you're holding this space for people to learn how to live with you, how to love you, how to be in love, or how to be in a relationship or friendship. And it's like Spirit is saying, like, we never asked, like, I get that you feel the impulse to do this. And it's a beautiful thing. And there's a lot of pride that you take in it. But this Gemini full moon is bringing in this energy of like, Scorpio, is this something that is a good trait, or is this something that actually holds you back? And I think, unfortunately, what's triggering about this is you're realizing, like, oh, I thought this was a good thing I was doing, but in reality, it was driving me towards resentment, right? Scorpio has this thing where, like, you guys can really tune into people right when they're on the brink of their transformation, but right when they go into their transformation, they do something that pulls them away from you, whether they do something that puts them at odds with you, or they do something that puts them at a distance or brings them away, right? So or some kind of event that happens that causes you to break apart. And it's like, aren't you tired of investing in other people and not seeing any kind of return for yourself? Sure, you learn, but what have you really been learning other than to do it again and to, like, you're kind of like, next time I'll do it this way. And it's like, Spirit's like, does there has to be a next time? Can you just tune into the individuals that, and I know if you feel like it's harder to tell, right, where the individuals are, but with this energy here, it just feels like Spirit is really identifying all the places where you place work that isn't really working towards anything. It's just like, doing a lot of busy work but not getting anything done, right? And so that's what's coming up. And honestly, investing in other people rather than investing in yourself, which has been a theme of all the readings pretty much so far. Thank you, Spirit. And the Hierophant in the reverse, and a job, like working for like a job or corporation in places that are not for you, like institutionalized things, and working for the man. Like, there's certain people here that have invested so much time and energy into a career, an education that curtailed into a career, when your career and your life path is taking you in a direction that's completely maybe a little bit foreign, right? Completely unexpected. And you're just like, bro, I put in my time and energy, and Spirit is like, well, you're going to waste more time and energy if you don't wake up to this and want to see it. Because if you're in denial of this, there's nothing we can do for you, right? And we can sit here and support you and help you, but you're going to turn around the next Gemini full moon and be faced with the same shit. It's like, where is it that you're wasting your fucking effort, Gemini? Your work means something, and you're not here to work and sweat your ass off and to do, like, I'm not saying you're not here to work hard, but you're not here to work hard for something that don't mean nothing. Come on, Scorpio. Some of y'all are in school right now, or somebody here is in school right now, and you just want to leave, and Spirit is saying, like, okay, like, really look at it. Don't make a decision off of a reading, right? Like I always say, use your intuition and your discernment when you're receiving. But it feels like, you've been getting the message, like, this is not bringing me anywhere. This is not what I'm supposed to be. But it's scary, because when you step out of the plan that you've set, that feels like a security, a blanket, and you start doing other shit, that it's very triggering. Thank you, Spirit. And we have Justice at the bottom of the deck. This is balance, right? Sometimes, Scorpio, you guys tend to be really strong-headed and strong-willed, especially when you allow like emotions and what you feel to be your internal guidance. And a lot of times that puts you in a position where you feel so much more mature, balanced, and in the right spaces, right? But when you're like emotionally driven all the time, sometimes like that's like karma. When the full moons come up, and like it's a lot of unconscious stuff that's driving us, and it's not always good, or it's not always leading us anywhere good. And this Justice is really bringing in a sense of balance, because it feels like you have been governed by something that's causing you to waste your effort, Scorpio. Okay, so it's up to you to figure out where that fits in. But God bless, and moving on. Okay, we have at 1:02 minutes, Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your reading. Thank you, Spirit. What do we have for Pisces? Please tune into Pisces' energy. Allow Pisces' guides, angels, and ancestors to dictate the messages, as they are the ones walking with them, and they deserve to be heard. Yes, they do. What do we have for Pisces? Gemini energy at the bottom of the deck, the Lovers in the reverse, Pisces. Pisces is getting a newfound clarity over, some people who you really thought had value in your experience in your life, but you're realizing like maybe we don't match as much as we thought, or maybe we're not as compatible as I thought. Pisces, you've developed the habit and the pattern of delusion. So this is where I was saying like the highest timeline opportunities to see things as they are, right? It feels like there's some delusion here, Pisces, when it comes to a relationship. And many of you guys, I'm feeling this is like friendship wise. Even like, they're learning something about a partner. It's not even that they don't want to be. The people that we're tuning into have a real sense. The people that I'm turning into that are around Pisces, it's not that they mean to. It's that they literally just don't have the constitution to they're confused. They don't have the constitution right now to receive you or play with you in the energy that you're ready to play in, right? The Ten of Swords is coming up in the reverse. We have the Ten of Swords in the reverse and the Lover's card in the reverse. These are all energies of avoidance. So Pisces, it feels like you've been avoiding a little bit, but it feels like you're ready to see it now. And with the Ten of Swords in the reverse, this is you kind of like looking at and being very painfully aware of every situation in which this sort of thing has come forward. So this is like Pisces getting to the bottom of a pattern when it comes to relationships. This is Pisces like tearing it up essentially and being like, no, right? Because at the bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Cups. So this is like a real gradual choice to move forward balanced and with the power, right? The horse also represents tuning into that horsepower, that spirit, right? And those wings like behind you, right? Being able to tune in and being able to use the faculties that are available to you, kind of using the wind at your back or the wind underneath your wings to ascend to a higher place. So it's a really positive reading. I do feel like Pisces, you're very much so clear. At the bottom of the deck, we also have the Chariot card. So it does feel like illusions are being broken, and you're seeing all of the ways in which this illusion has governed your experience. And it's really exciting because it feels like for Pisces, you're like, oh my God, this means that I am free to move now. Like I don't like, now that I understand it, now that I see, it's like I get it, you know. And so good for you. That completes us for Pisces. God bless you, Pisces. Moving on to Cancer at 1:06. Oh, did you guys hear that? That was my stomach. Okay, please don't be grossed out by that. It's the morning and I haven't eaten anything yet. It's currently 10:48 a.m. Switch it to 10:07. Hello, Cancer. How are you? Let us see what we have for Cancer and the energy of this Gemini full moon. Holy Spirit, please tune into Cancer's energy. Allow Cancer's guides, angels, and ancestors to dictate the messages, as they are the ones walking with them, and they deserve to be heard. Thank you. Cancer, it feels like you're in damage control right now. You're trying to fix something, or you're trying to prevent some kind of hemorrhaging or bleeding. You're trying to prevent something from happening here. Yeah, it feels like you're trying to stop something. And the Hermit. Yeah, it feels like you've been left to your own devices because you out of some disappointment. So, and it feels like there's something that has recently left your life, and I don't know why they're being very specific, but they're saying the devil energy is trying to make you feel like you should feel ashamed for losing this thing. And Spirit is saying, like, no, you are being redirected and rehelped, right? The Seven of Cups in the reverse is trying to make you feel like you ain't got nowhere to go now because you just lost your one opportunity forward, right? There's someone here, some Cancers here, somebody here, or I don't know what this is, you discern, but somebody here made a mistake, okay? Which they presume to be a mistake, but it had consequences that were irreversible. So somebody broke up with you, somebody left you, you lost a friendship, you did something wrong, like whatever, right? It's easy to be shameful about this or to feel shame about this, and Spirit is saying this is actually what is designed. Like, it's like, this is a better position now. And I know it doesn't feel that way, but with the Hermit card, this is you being given a time to reflect and walk alone. Okay, so wherever it is that you're freaking out or feeling some type of way because you're set aside or cast aside, please don't worry. Please don't make a big deal about it. Don't sit here like, you can be here, like over here crying over spilled milk, or you can go forward, with your best foot, and knowing like you walking with that cane because shit, your shit hurts. He's also walking with a cup, or no, he's walking with the lantern. For some reason, I feel like it's a cup. But either way, he's walking along this rough road and this rough terrain alone, but he's not alone because he has the divine there, and the divine is constantly holding this space of reflection for him, right? So this Virgo energy. And it's not about what you choose. I think you're realizing it now. Like, it's not about like, making sure that you're on the perfect path. Like, I think you're maturing out of this, Cancer, where you're like, it's not about the perfect path. It's just about whatever choice I make given whatever situation I'm in, right? All right. That completes you, Cancer. We're moving on, okay? Spirit is saying, make them short and sweet. That's exactly what I'm about to do. I hope this light is not too harsh. Let me know how you guys are liking these in the comments, okay? We'll do 1, 10, 23, or we'll do 1, 11, 4. Virgo. Since Virgo wants to come out through the Hermit card, we're going to touch on Virgo, okay? Virgo. Hello, Virgo. Waiting for that clock to hit or that timer to hit 1 minute and 11 seconds. Virgo, this is about to be deep because I'm a Virgo moon. It's been like a month that I quit smoking cigarettes, guys, so I'm feeling really good. I know I'm still vaping, but better than cigarettes, I'll tell you that. What do we have for Virgo? Holy Spirit, please tune into their guides, angels, and ancestors. Allow them to dictate the messages as they are the ones walking with them. And they deserve to be heard. What are the people watching or being drawn here to watch that are Virgos or tuning into Virgos reading need to hear? Thank you. How is this Gemini full moon energy affecting them? Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I heard you have a leg to stand on now, Virgo. You have a leg to stand on? You know, Virgo, I do think that you're positioned to really help some people here that are kind of waiting or in a hopeless space. It feels like people that are waiting for, I'll start with these and then we'll go to the next, whatever other card comes out. But it feels like, Virgo, you're walking towards and you're moving towards somebody here who is expecting something that isn't coming. Okay, the Three of Wands in the upright position is about faith. It's about knowing that something's coming in for you. It's about knowing the effort and the energy that you stand with and the things that you put energy into and how they're coming back, right? And so this person is in a place of delusion, right? And there's something about you, or this could be you here and somebody else coming in and you, okay, so it's the other way around. So you're waiting for something to happen here, Virgo, or you're waiting on something or someone. Okay, it doesn't feel like this person is coming, you know, in the way that you expect, and it feels like there's a whole other person. So while you're waiting for one person, another person's coming in. Be very careful here, Virgo, because it feels like where you're living in delusion about the relationships in your life or about what relationship you want. You're over here like hoping and pining over somebody in secret. This is a kind of toxic trait that I pulled on before, where we learn to kind of have crushes but never act on them, or kind of live in this place of like pining over someone but never actually having a relationship, because it's actually safer to pine for someone and not actually be challenged to tell them how you feel or to even face rejection, right? And it feels like this person is watching you, Virgo. Whoever this is, it doesn't have to be romantic, but this person is watching you. It's like, wow, like I'm over here, you know, I came all this way, you know, to give Virgo this, or to kind of show Virgo how I feel, but they're focused on other things. You know, somebody here has a friend coming to visit them from far away, and they're over here distracted by other things and you know, trying to make themselves available to someone else. Like you could very well damage a relationship because you're over here living in delusion about something or someone else, right? So overly focused that you're not even able to see, you know. Then we have the Sun card and the Three of Cups. So I do feel like there is an illumination that is invited here with this face to face. If you were to turn around and face this person, actually, in the Sun, like the Sun card depicts, you'll actually learn and see, you know, all of this opportunity and value, right? From the Three of Wands in the reverse to the Three of Cups. You're waiting for some kind of passionate movement forward, and you want to get to work, Virgo. I get it. You want to get to work, and this doesn't have to be romantic, right? You're over here focused on a job or opportunity, or trying to get your, I'm hearing get up, get your name up, get going, get something off the ground, you know, but there's actually a balance to things. And right now you're being invited to see another opportunity or a blessing. And while you're so fixated and like a dog with the bone about another blessing, you're not even seeing what's in front of you. And what's in front of you is an opportunity for you to be received. Soul family. There's also this energy of like ancestral support coming in and sending somebody in for you with this energy, right? So just be wary about that, Virgo. All right. God bless. Moving on. Let's say 1/16 44 Capricorn. Oh my God, we're doing so well, you guys. All right, Capricorn, what deck do you want? Let's do Capricorn. What do we have for Capricorn? Holy Spirit, please tune into Capricorn's guides, angels, and ancestors. Allow them to take the messages, as they are the ones walking with them, and they deserve to be heard. Thank you. What do we have for Capricorn? Okay, that harsh light has moved beyond. Thank God. Now it's on the table. At least it's not on my face. My beautiful face. Don't forget to leave a comment, guys. Like, subscribe, do all the things, okay? Capricorn. 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 For the full moon in Gemini, what do we have for Capricorn? Ooh, Capricorn, you're being talked off a ledge from doing something that you're gonna regret, okay? There's some really harsh energies here in Capricorn. I feel like it's having the hardest time of all the signs right now. Why? Because it just feels like you guys, you're so, obviously you're ruled by Earth, but this energy of like being so grounded in the delusion, right? You guys are the most grounded and seated in the delusion. And when that delusion is ripped, or when somebody else feels, because it feels like Capricorn plays the other side. So all of these readings where people are realizing like where they are being inauthentic or showing up in a relationship in a way that is not right for them or whatever, and they're redirecting or they're readjusting, it's like Capricorn feels like they're the other party, to be honest. And with much love, Capricorn, we love you. I love me some Capricorn, okay? My roommate's a Capricorn. Some of my favorite people in my life that I've ever come across have been Capricorn. So know that you are very well loved here on this channel. But it feels like y'all about to make a mistake, okay? Or it feels like y'all about to make a decision that's going to set you up for a very difficult path for the next year or so. It's like, do you want to start off on the wrong foot, or do you want to start off on the right foot, right? It just feels like that, very much like that, okay? Yeah, death in the reverse, or death, oh, not death in the reverse, death in the upright. This is an opportunity for transformation, right? There's something here that is being, it's almost like you got cut. Capricorn got cut, they got gutted, they got hit, okay? They're over here on the ground. They're like, you know, you are finding yourself like really hurt by a situation or really triggered right now. And because of that, there's like a I don't give a fuck energy, and everybody can get it, right? And Spirit is saying like, just be very careful about the decisions you make and the intensity of this energy, because if you can have the awareness and if you can sit with this, you'll actually realize like the Ten of Swords in the reverse, like I always say, it's an opportunity to go through each time that you kind of played in this karmic energy of this particular kind of situation, and every time that you were hurt, and seeing it from a different perspective. With the Death card and Scorpio energy, this is Scorpio season. This is about you going through a transformation because of a choice. And there's something about a choice that you made in the past, actually, that was more rooted or made out of pain, out of disappointment and other things, that now is coming to an end. There's an opportunity for it to end, or you can go back again on this cycle. Capricorn, I want to pull another energy for you, because I feel like compared to the other readings, this one feels kind of dismal. I just saw the Devil card, which is you peeking through in the reading. So I definitely feel like you do have the opportunity to be empowered. I think right now, as being a student of Spirit, and this is this kind of solo energy of healing, right? There's a lot of shadow work being called forward for Capricorn right now. Especially in this winter, there's something really interesting for Capricorn, and you guys have this opportunity to kind of go. We've had other signs have had times and periods where they've been the ones who've been dealing with the harshest of the energy. Right now, it feels like Capricorn, you guys are so far. Okay, we still have 4 more signs to do. Okay, but with that said, we're moving on. Excuse me, Taurus. Taurus is at 1:21:30. Taurus. What do we have for Taurus? Holy Spirit, thank you. Please tune into Taurus's energy. Allow Taurus's guides, angels, and ancestors to dictate the messages, as they are the ones walking with them and they deserve to be heard. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you. Hey, what do we have for Taurus in reference to this Gemini full moon energy in this week? Thank you. The 5 of Cups in the upright coming up first. I definitely feel like Taurus is having a flip where they're seeing, oh, this is the upside of this. I don't know why I feel this, but it feels like it's taken a minute for Taurus to see the upside. It's taken a minute for you guys to see how some kind of thing that happened in the past ended up becoming something really important. Divine. It's like, oh, this is why this happened. It's like you're getting to know the why later. And this feels like something that could have even happened 5 years ago, 4 years ago. This is like how your life fell apart. And you're like, what the fuck? And now you're like, boom, here I go. The Star in the reverse and the 6 of Wands. So we have some major arcana energy. The Star in the reverse is really showing where you were not given, like you're seeing, oh, if I would have went this way, I could have never have healed. I could have never have done this stuff. That stuff would have occupied me. It's like where something like of an opportunity, so it's different for everybody. Use your discernment. But for some people, it's like where a marriage fell apart, where a job fell apart, where an opportunity fell apart, where you got fired, where something that has given you a great source of shame in your life about why things didn't go exactly according to plan. And now with the 6 of Wands, this is like, okay, now I get it. I'm led by spirit. Now I can go. Now I can walk. And now I can walk in faith, even though my feet is hurting. And even though I'm carrying some shit, right? This shit is, I'm carrying only what I need, right? The 6 is representing only what you need, kind of what I'm feeling in this reading. And the 6 also represents you breaking out of a cycle of beating yourself up or not giving yourself that space or that time of healing, or putting yourself in situations where you don't have the opportunity to heal. It's almost like constantly poking at a wound so that it doesn't fully heal, right? And so you're realizing this pattern and you're realizing why it happened, and there's kind of like this energy of Taurus having this burst of energy and like, no, let's go. And spirit is like, that's what I thought, follow me into the darkness, okay? Because I'm your light and we are the light. We will make it through. That's what I'm talking about. Come follow me. And you're like, all right, let's go. Okay, so God bless Taurus. That feels like a really nice energy, even though it's very triggering, and even though it's easy to fall into the path or the aspect of like beating yourself up for all the ways and times that you didn't allow yourself. This is not about a coulda, shoulda, woulda. This is about going from a 5 to a 6. This is about progressing, and you are very much so progressing. And so you should definitely hold space of congratulations and pride for yourself, because it feels like it's been a long road. It's been a long road. I'm hearing 5 years, okay? But the last 2 years, you've been finding your footing, and now you're understanding and seeing things a whole lot clearer. So congratulations. You're also seeing, this is an interesting message, but you're also seeing a lot of forms and figures and faces in the dark. This is a part of your gifts being elevated. Try not to respond or react to it. Try not to be afraid of it. Know that you're protected, okay? Just allow yourself to go through it. Sometimes when I'm getting a lot of downloads and stuff, or I'm kind of having a clairvoyant thing, I'll see a bunch of pornographic or violent images first. And if I react to it, or if I have a visceral reaction to it, it's sort of like my own body's way or my own intuition's way of checking to see if I'm grounded enough. Because if I have a reaction to it, or if I start beating myself up or getting all lost in it, then it stops, right? But if I'm relaxed and I'm just like, interesting, that's interesting, okay, I'm seeing all these images, okay, well, that's interesting. And if you continuously sensitize yourself in a way where you're not being reactive to it, you'll see a whole lot more. Especially given that you're being guided by spirit, I do feel like there's a lot more spiritual, there's new frontiers when it comes to your ability to receive and see spirit, right? God bless Taurus. Moving on to our last and final element, which is fire. We'll start with Aries, since it's my sister sign, or the sister sign of Libra, the brother sign of Libra, whatever you want to call it. Aries. All right. God bless Aries. Welcome to your reading. Guides, angels, ancestors, please tune into Aries' energy. Allow Aries' guides, angels, and ancestors to dictate the messages, as they are the ones walking with them. They deserve to be heard. What do we have for Aries in reference to this full moon in Libra? In Gemini. Correction. Aries, what do we have for Aries? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Aries. Everywhere where it is that you've taken on a responsibility, right? Aries is not afraid of work. And Aries is not afraid of hard work. You almost assume, or the energy of Aries almost assumes, that it's going to be a journey no matter what, right? But when you realize that you've taken on a weight, or you've taken on other people's weight so that they don't have to go on their journeys, okay, now Aries has a problem, okay? And it feels like Aries has these periods of time where they realize, oh, I'm way down. Like, I've been feeling this thing for Aries for years now, but this energy of Aries being at odds with their nature, the nature of almost being a self-serving, what's going to work for me, and there's a divine aspect to that. But it feels like, because Aries and the fire that is Aries can be so disregarding to other people and their emotions and other things that they're going through and not give a fuck, that now it's this energy of like Aries flipped on it, and their karmic thing is like Aries taking on all this responsibility and taking on the weight and the pain of others, and thinking that that's a divine thing, and it is. But when it comes against your nature, it crosses you, and then you find yourself carrying burdens that are not yours to carry. Ooh, I just burned my hand. Did y'all see that? I got close to the fire here. And that's the right hand. It's like you're overgiving, and you get burned when you overgive, and you find yourself carrying some shit that is not yours just because you're used to it. And just because you have the muscles to do it, fuck that. And in the reverse, that's Aries coming into this Gemini full energy, wanting to drop it like a hot potato. But yes, you are being guided to drop it, or you are being guided to restructure the things that you're holding on to that have nothing to do with you, right? And that other people need to take responsibility for. However, the way that you drop it is important, okay? So Aries, don't just drop it like a hot potato. There's a way to do this, okay? Because if you drop it like a hot potato, it might bounce back. Okay, and it might be a little bit nasty, and it might take up your time and be a mess for you. So it feels like Aries is wanting to, like, oh, this isn't mine, wanting to like throw it to the ground, right? It's like you out of nowhere, you have a baby on your hip, and you're like, how the fuck, this is not even my baby, and then you just like throw the baby to the side, and it's like, no, there's karmic retributions for that. Okay, don't do that. There's a way to handle this, and honestly, it's through honesty. Right? So it's easy for Aries to get to the point where they're just so overwhelmed by it that they're just like, right? They want to like, right? Burn it all to the ground, right? Spirit is saying, like, instead, can you be honest? Can you be authentic? Can you share truly where you're coming from in all of this? That is what's going to be the difference here for you. Okay. Yeah, because it feels like you're finally able to receive something here, but in order for you to receive it, you have to let somebody. Somebody here is being offered something emotionally, romantically from somebody else that has nothing to do with the present relationship you're in. That is making you see how this relationship has kind of been bamboozled. If you are waking up, Aries, and realizing that your life is a lie, your relationship is a lie, and that you've just been carrying somebody on your back, and then you meet somebody else, and they're just like, they're like, you know, they're pulling you in, they're giving you this like this seductress energy, and it's like their energy gives you that fire. They feed to your fire rather than need your fire. They feed your fire. It's easy for you to want to turn around and be like, get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, no. Especially when I'm feeling like somebody here is experiencing some kind of betrayal. Some Aries energy is experiencing a betrayal. It's like there's a need for you to be honest. And I've said this before, but with the Four of Cups, it's like, you know, Spirit is saying, come on out and play, you know, come get this cup. And you're like, no, but I'm over here. I'm in camouflage. Like, you know, nobody can see me. I don't want anybody to see me. I want to kind of do this in, you know, my way. And Spirit is like, you're going to have to come out straight up buck naked where everybody can see you in the middle of this fucking field to get this blessing. And, that's what it is. You got to be honest. Aries is an opportunity in this Gemini energy to become at peace with your nature and to share the things that you've been worried about and holding on to secretly, right? Because you know that you're dealing with someone who's extremely sensitive, or someone who doesn't always do well with the truth. They kind of have a reaction to it. And you've taken this person on. This person could be anybody in your life. You've taken this person on with a sense of responsibility. But it feels like you want to kick rocks. You want to run, okay? But sometimes the truth is so much easier than being so furious and being so like triggered that you're just like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, fuck everybody. I just want to do my thing my way. Right? So just be very careful about how you deal with this. Take a couple breaths, Aries, because if you deal with this with grace and you deal with this with with pure honesty and the intent to completely be transparent, then you will find yourself exactly where you want to be. Yep, the Fool on a new journey. Congratulations, Aries. All right, watch yourselves. Watch your step, okay? There's a lot of babies. You don't want to step on a baby, okay? No baby stepping here. Moving on. We have Saggies, and we're moving into Sagittarius season at 1:33:33. Let us go, Sagittarius. How are you doing tonight? Okay, second to last reading. We got 2 more to go. Sagittarius, what do we have today? What's going on? What deck do we want? Guides, angels, ancestors, please tune into Sagittarius' energy. Allow Sagittarius' guides, angels, and ancestors to dictate the messages, as they are the ones walking with them, and they deserve to be heard. We got Judgment. Sagittarius, you're coming to a conclusion. That's interesting. This full moon energy is bringing you to a conclusion here. So I'm getting the energy of Sagittarius being able to see the family dynamics a lot clearer. You're able to see something. It's almost like you're being disillusioned to, or you're being disillusioned, meaning you're being led out of illusion when it comes to something here. It comes to family. It comes to a family. Your family, the family of your loved one. But there's something about you where you didn't see it before, and now it's like so clear that you can't unsee it. And it has to do, like, everybody is being seen naked. Like you have such a clarity right now, Sagittarius. You have such a clarity about your family, about the patterns, about how everybody ended up this way. You really have a divine sight right now, and because of that, you have the ability to blow that horn. That horn is of Gabriel, right? That horn is the horn of God and the horn of truth. And so the divine is using you in this time of intensity to not only share the truth, but to share, to like be the voice piece of the divine and offer guidance, right? And offer some kind of like, hey, it's not what we think. Something about it's not what we think. And you're the only one that can see it, right? It's not what we think, right? It's not how we think or what we think. Like we're all looking at it the wrong way, and you're the only one who sees it clearly, so you're the only one who can say it. And there's something about that that's healing for you too, because I don't think you necessarily always trusted yourself when it came to other people. And it's almost like you're being given and held in a place of authority because of it. Yeah. The Hermit in the reverse is you having a period of time where you're doing self-work. You're looking at yourself. You're looking at your life. You're looking at patterns. And the Hermit in the reverse is you coming out of that and you having and you kind of having a lot of awareness. And when you expect to get pushback, but in reality, you're being celebrated, or like people are really taking it well, where it's like, wow, like I didn't expect you to be that cool about it. It's like, it feels like, oh, like everybody is kind of like feeling me right now. As they should, because it's like, oh wow, like Sagittarius is onto something. And like, I've been in therapy for however many years, and I've never gotten to that. So thank you, Sagittarius. And so that's healing for you, because you're like, wow, I have value, right? So there's something about Sagittarius taking a very almost difficult and maybe painful situation and finding value in it for yourself. Feeling your value and learning your value and being like, well, you know what, I'm gonna go forward with this. Like this makes sense. I feel confident. Sagittarius, it feels like you guys are being celebrated, and it feels like, because we're moving into Sagittarius season, but you're about to be in your element, but it feels like this Gemini energy is really working for you, because it feels like everybody's looking to Sagittarius of all the signs to be the one that is the wise one, that knows everything, that knows what to do, and knows what everything is, right? It feels like Sagittarius has the most clarity right now. And I'm a Sagittarius rising, so hey, I'm feeling that. What else do we have for Sagittarius? Yeah, the Hangman in the reverse, right? Like I said, you've been waiting long enough. You've been in this place of waiting. And Sagittarius is, you guys have, I'm hearing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 years of being in waiting or imprisonment, right? Where you've been kind of confused or whatever. It's like that you've been hanging from this thing for 9 or 10 years, right? They're saying each one of these two represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Yeah. Like you don't even realize it, but for 10 years, you've been in this holding place and you haven't been able to move forward. And with the Hermit in the reverse and the Hangman in the reverse, two major arcana, right, are coming up in the reverse that are saying you've gotten it, you've seen it, right? Being in the upright here shows that you have come to a level of understanding and peace with it, and you see something differently that you haven't seen before. And that is your value, where you come in and what your value means and the people that appreciate it. So congratulations, Sagittarius. It's a beautiful energy for you guys to be in. The bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is about, a message that needs to get across. And with that tower in the background, it feels like a message that comes on the heels of some kind of intense situation, but your confidence and your ability to move through it and move through the chaos of it and move through the trigger of it and be able to use that discernment and that sword to cut through the illusions and to be at the right place at the right time puts you in a very good place. Okay. So God bless you, Sagittarius. Moving on to the last and final sign. Leo. Hello, Leo. Leo, you guys are wanting the angelic tarot. Holy Spirit, what do we have for Leo? Please turn into Leo's guides, angels, and ancestors. Allow them to dictate the messages as they are the ones walking with them. They deserve to be heard. How is this intense energy affecting Leo? Thank you. Thank you. What do we have for Leo? What do we have for Leo? Thank you, Spirit. We have the Judgment again. Okay. Leo, it feels like you're watching people. Be careful with your ego. I know you get this a lot, Leo. Like, but hear me out. Be careful with your ego, because it feels like you're watching you're watching people go through the very thing you said they were going to go through. So it's kind of like this intensity that's partnered with, like, and it's a trap almost for you, Leo, because it's like, you're like, haha, I told you, bitch, like, I told you this shit was going to come for you, and Spirit is like, watch out, be careful, because you was in this place not too long ago, and you have your own shit, right? But it's like this energy of like, I told y'all you was wrong, I was right, you was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, all right, Leo, calm down. Okay, we get it, right? But regardless how much you don't like this person, or regardless how tumultuous the relationship is, it's important that you that you're honorable, okay? Because that's really what's gonna set you apart in this energy. Okay, we have the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck in the reverse. So this is you kind of being in a power hungry power play thing. Like, this is an energy of you kind of getting away from yourself a little bit, and the ego. And it's not just because it's your nature. There's the energy here that is triggering you to do so because you've been hurt so many times, or because you've been disregarded, or because people tend to look at you in a particular kind of filter that they don't always receive your wisdom as they should, right? And because of that, when this stuff happens, it inflames, and you're like, yeah, I'd been said that, I knew I was right, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, you were, okay, but there's some other things that you weren't right about, and there's some things right now that you aren't seeing that you should see about yourself, because then you're gonna have a moment later on where somebody's gonna turn around and be like, haha, I told you, Leo, I was right, you were wrong. You know, you can have this moment of like a humbling, like, yeah, like I'm validated, like I was right, you know. And listen, all I can do is pray that these people handle this with grace, you know, or I can rub it in their face and make them remember that I'm valuable in their life, because truly Leo just wants to be part of the pack, right? Leo just wants to have a pack that they can feel proud of and be a part of it. And whatever energies or people that they associate with, they want those people to be ride or die people. Speaking of the pack, I mean, you can't make this shit up. Let's give the dogs a moment. These are your people. This is your pack, Leo. And so rather than go against them, or rather than feel like, I knew I was right, you're going to put yourself at odds with them, when in reality the divine is showing you, like, you're over here feeling like you got to be defensive, and then you got to be offensive, and Spirit is showing you, like, you know, they're saying turn around, there's a mirror here, right? You're thinking that you have to do it all by yourself, but the divine is working here. The divine is working to defend. 7 represents a lucky number 2, so it's kind of like a lucky number of being able to get something or receive something that you were waiting for, or that you've been wanting. But you got to turn around, and you're over here focused on one thing, and you're over here focused on doing things all by yourself, because you're so used to being by yourself that you don't realize that if you actually humble yourself to what these people are going through, they not only can they be allies, but the divine can work through them to support you. Thank you, Spirit. And then you'll really be taking off. Okay. God bless you, Leo. And that completes us for this full moon in Gemini, all signs reading and downloads and all that jazz. Please subscribe if you want to book a session with me. Check that out at andrewsintuition.com. I do video readings and personal one-on-ones. But until next time, make sure you leave a comment. Let me know how you feel, okay? If you want to add anything to the messages or something that you were seeing in the cards, then you're welcome to do so. God bless, and I leave you in the divine light of our divine creator.